And that's my cue to start the show. Welcome to another edition of the Hard Rock and Sports Show, live from high top Hard Rock and Sports Studios in beautiful scenic Monroe, New Jersey. We are your 2-hour weekly get together. We bring you all the biggest news from around the worlds of hard rock, heavy metal, and of course the wide world of sports. I see you there, Jeff. Give me a second. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It's been a long week. Don't know why, but it has been. Hold on, let me just mute my. I got Fox on in the background. And anyway, yeah, it's been a long week, and I'm looking forward to tonight's show. We got a lot to get to. I don't know why I'm not showing up. Why is this? Hold on a second. We got some issues here. I really want to use my second screen tonight, and for some reason, it's not. Why is this not? Let's see. Plugged in. Maybe I changed the. No, that's not changing. Why is this? Good questions. I don't know, folks. I'm trying to figure everything out right now. Press the input button. I don't know why that's not popping up. Let's restart it. I need my second screen tonight. I'm trying to figure out why this is not second screening me. Maybe that'll work. All right. Anyway, it's been welcome to another edition of the Hard Rock and Sports Show, live from a high top Hard Rock and Sports Studios in beautiful city of New Jersey. It's your 2-hour weekly get together. We bring you all the biggest news around the world for hard rock, heavy metal, across the wide world of sports. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is Thursday, April the 16th in the year of our good Lord 2026. And I hope you guys remember to pay your taxes yesterday. I had to write a big check, so not very happy about it. But that's life in the big city, and not much I could do about it. So hopefully, I don't know. It's been a long week. I'm tired. Weather's been crazy. Last week we had heavy jackets on. Today it's 90 degrees. So bundle up. It's going to be warm for a day or so. And then next week, Monday morning, Monday in the middle of the night, it'll be 35 degrees. You're going to get up. It'll be in the 50s at the high all day. So it's kind of crazy. Lots to talk about tonight. We got a lot of pre-draft stuff. I was hoping to get it up on the screen here. I don't know why my screen's not working all of a sudden. Press input button. So we'll try to get. I'll try to get some draft stuff done tonight because we will not be on the air next Thursday. I will be traveling. I have my son's wedding and won't be able to get the show on the air. We'll be back the week after. We'll break down the NFL draft. I want to give you my draft picks tonight. We'll talk a lot of Jets, Giants. We got some Mets. We got a lot of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm wearing my official Iron Maiden t-shirt here. We'll get to a lot of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And we got a lot. We'll talk about Disney. We're going to talk politics. We got a little politics to throw in tonight. Thank you. And we'll talk about Triumph. We got a lot of little things. We'll see how the show goes. But thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys have had a great week. Like I said, it's been a rough week. I don't know why necessarily it's been a rough week, but it has been. I don't know why this isn't changing. This is LG. That's Vizio. Where is my other remote control? Let's see this one. Let's see if this one changes the input. Yep, it does. Let's see if that helps. I don't know why my second screen's not working tonight. It's really kind of strange. It's all plugged in, nice and neat, but it ain't working, and I don't know why. It ain't working, and I don't know why. Everything else is plugged in. Anyway, I'm going to get Jeff on. We got a lot to talk to him about tonight. So let's get the show started officially, and let's get my man Jeff, the hardworking Parks Department bass player for the Hard Rock and Sports Band, amongst others, and my buddy for 40 years, Mr. Jeff Tomlinski. Hefe, what's up, my man?
Fuck that fucking job, them bunch of fucking jerk-offs over there.
Hey, it's a hell of a way to start the show tonight there, Jeff.
Well, that's just how it is. Get used to it. This is a new me.
As opposed to the old cranky you?
I was never that cranky before.
Never that cranky?
No.
Well, I'll beg to differ, but okay, listen, what the hell? If that's how you want to Present yourself. I'm all for it. Jeff, I'm afraid to ask, but Jeff, how was your week?
It sucked. I sent you a picture earlier today. Do you remember?
I did. I did respond to your so-called picture.
Yeah, I felt alive.
You did.
Yes.
Were you relieving yourself at that moment?
Not at that moment, but I was prepared to.
You were.
There's nothing like shitting in a plastic house.
Yes, it's especially when it's the middle of summer, and you're fighting the bugs and the heat. It's almost you're almost getting relief from the inside, and you're sweating out about 20 pounds as you sit there and have this moment of. It's kind of like taking ayahuasca. You're sitting there and you're sweating and you're daydreaming and you're hallucinating and all that good stuff.
Poopawaska?
Yeah, Poopawaska. What's up there, Gumati? How was the game today? And thank you for the invite. And Gumati, had I said yes, because my schedule was free, I would have had to cancel yesterday because, as usual, in my upside down, can't get myself to do things life. I would have had to cancel for a big meeting today. So I'm glad somebody went. I'm glad you had a good time, and thank you for asking. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully someday I will be able to say yes and actually go to a baseball game in the middle of a week. In the meantime, so Jeff, what's got your anger up this week? What is it that is it your boy Mamdani? Is it Kathy Hochul? Is it your friends over at the Parks tomorrow? What's got Jeff's nuts and
first of all, I can't worry about what them other idiots are doing, man. My God,
they're coming for your money, man. No matter how you look at it, they're just working their way down.
Yeah, I know. There's not much you're gonna do about it, Tom.
No, you know what? You're the only hope you guys have right now in New York City, and I'll say in Staten Island because I don't even count Staten Island as New York City anymore. It's the last place on earth that I think it's kind of still normal, but yeah, and that's questionable. Now that you got to hope that Bruce Blakeman wins the governor in November. It's the only shot you guys got because once Hochul's got 4 more years, she's going to let this moron run wild. So you guys got to hope and pray, get out and vote for Bruce Blakeman and pray to God he wins because anything else is short of just other disaster for New York City. Did you see he wants to build the first government run grocery store? Did you see that article?
No.
Okay. So he promised to do this when he was running for mayor. It's proposed to cost, I think it's $30 million to build this and get this thing up and running, and it won't be up and running until 2029 or 28, one or the other. It's like 1 year after his term ends, he'll actually get this thing up and running. I mean, first off, why does it cost $30 million to build a grocery store?
Where is he looking to build it?
I believe in Harlem.
Well, there you go.
The first one. He wants to put one in each borough, but the very, very first one's coming out there. So unless you got 24-inch thick walls, lead lined, to keep the residents out, some sort of maybe they've hired Superman full time as security. I'm not sure. Yes, $30 million, Billy Grass. I'm telling you, he's the biggest travesty in the world. Now they want to go after this wealth tax. So if you own a second home that costs more than $5 million, they want to take that money from you. They want you to pay tax on that. They want you to pay additional money on that. They basically don't want you to have any money, Jeff. They want to take your money. And again, it's going to trickle down because all the people who have a lot of money are all going to leave. So eventually, they got to make up $5.4 billion somehow that they're missing. They're going to make this up by taxing the rich who are all going to leave with their money, and they're going to go after the hardworking middle class and the Democrats and the blue-haired, 7-bracelet, ring through the nose morons that voted this asshole in. You're going to pay for all of this. He already said there's no free buses. Basically they want to up your property taxes. If she's saying no, the minute she wins, your property tax is going to 9.5%.
Oh, listen, there's not much I can do about it. One, the good
Nope.
news is I don't have to worry about the $5 million house.
Oh, that's
Not
true.
any time between now and the time I die will I
Especially,
ever have to worry
especially if they
about the
raise your
$5 million
taxes.
house.
Especially if they raise your taxes to
Yeah.
95%.
And even if I had $5 million to
Yeah.
buy a house, I highly doubt that I would be spending that money here.
Oh, you'd be out of your freaking
Okay.
mind.
But
But
but here's the rest of the bad news.
guess what else
Okay.
is the bad news?
Well, there's just bad news all over the place.
Really?
Well, just overall in general for people like us. You want to buy gasoline, it's over $4 a gallon.
Yep.
Wait till that starts to trickle down, and now trucking and everything else that runs on gasoline goes up. So we're going to get hit from all ends until some of this stuff calms down. Man, Danny, I don't understand what the people thought was going to happen. I really don't.
Yeah.
I really honestly and truly don't. It's utterly amazing what this asshole does and what he and the things that he says. And if there's anybody that says that he's doing a great job and we can't wait, hopefully he gets another 4 years, they should be shot.
No,
They
I'm
really
telling you,
should be shot.
I watch a lot of news, Jeff, and especially a lot of Fox, but I catch the other ones too. And they do a lot of these reporters on the street, and they'll go around New York City or other places, but they've done a lot in New York lately because of all the stuff that's going on. And they'll stop and say, "Hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good a job is Mayor Mamdani doing?" And I'm telling you, if I tell you if there's 100 that's been interviewed, 75 says, "Oh, he's doing a great job," and I'm like, "What? Where do you see a great like?
What has he done? What
Yeah,
has he done?
all he's done is piss off the cops, chased them out, right? All he's done is threaten to take more money from people. He hasn't done one thing to give back to people, but all he's done is take people's money and wants to take more money, and he's going to chase all the rich people out of here from spending more money on building and all that. I'm telling you, this city may never. De Blasio was terrible. Dinkins was horrific. If this guy ever got a second term, forget. But if he ever gets his way and Hochul's in charge of the money and he's given the keys, because right now she's scared to death of him. So she's gonna give him everything he wants.
She looks like she had a fucking stroke.
Yeah, it's the same thing with congestion pricing. Right before the election in 24, she put it on hold. I don't think I'm going to put this in place. I'm with her teeth and all that. And she said, "Well, I'm not. I'm going to take a look at this congestion pricing. I don't think we're going to implement it." Soon as the election was over, congestion pricing got reinstated for January. So it's going to be the same thing here. She's telling him no on taxes. Now she said, "Well, we might have to do a tax on the people with the $5 million homes. It's a wealth tax." The people in California, they heard about a wealth tax and they all went running out of California. So they all ran to where? Tennessee, Texas, Florida, Republican states. In Florida, they're telling you, "I don't think you need to pay any more property taxes." And in New York, they want to make you pay 10%. This city, Jeff, may never, ever, ever recover from this guy. It may be a barren wasteland for decades. When this guy,
Listen, it is what it is. Right now, there's not
6,
much I can do about it. I'm stuck here.
He's 6,000 cops short, and they can't get anybody to take the test.
Why would they want to? Why would they want
to? Exactly. I don't blame them. So
you saw the videos of them getting pelted with snow.
Yeah,
they weren't able to do anything. Yeah. I just find it unbelievable. If I threw, first of all, we would never do this to each other, so I already know that right off the bat. Mm-hmm. Maybe one would take a snowball and take a half-hearted throw at the other and try to hit one another in the ass. You're never, ever, and I know that I would never, ever throw snow with half the intent that those fucking apes were throwing snow at those cops in the wintertime. Okay? To me, that's a gesture of war. You know what I mean? Even amongst friends, you just don't do that. So they let that happen, and they let those guys get abused, embarrassed, and pelted, and they weren't able to do anything of fucking about it. Okay? And then when you read things in the paper that go on in the paper, where just the shit that happens, it's mind fucking blowing, man. Absolutely fucking mind blowing that this is allowed to happen in today's day and age. Okay? There is nothing. You might as well let Iran have a fucking nuclear weapon. Maybe they'll use it on us and we'll be the first ones to go. and we won't have to fucking sit around and wait. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Nothing. 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 Nothing.
How's that?
Now I can hear you.
Yeah, my mic went off. Not to get too deep into politics, but even the Iran thing, for 47 years, people screamed up and down, Republicans, Democrats, everybody. But you can't give Iran a nuclear weapon. You can't give them. You got to stop them. They tried. They tried to give them money, take them money. They threatened them. They did everything but stop them. This guy goes in and bombs the crap out of them, sends them back to the Stone Age, shuts off their economic supply, has done everything right. And you get people on the and they actually feel bad for these leaders in Iran. I mean, it's disgusting. You get to the point where you don't even want to talk to anybody. It's
disgusting, yeah. But you want to know something? This was all handled wrong. I'm sorry, bro.
Why?
It's all handled. Why? Because I'm paying $4.05 a gallon for gas. Okay,
I got it. I got it. But you were paying the same amount of money under Biden. You were paying the same amount of money under Biden.
Listen,
and you weren't solving anything.
You're right. Biden was yesterday. He's not here no more.
I got
you. Can only complain about what we're going through today. I bitched when I was paying $4.05 under that asshole. I bitched when I was paying something under Obama. I'm going to bitch that I'm paying $4.05 now. You start a war with a country like what Iran. And I agree, they have to be stopped. Without a doubt. If you don't think they have to be stopped, you got a bigger problem.
Correct.
Okay? But you should have secured that Strait of Hormuz, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, again.
First things first.
No, you couldn't do it that way. See, that's where you're a little wrong. Because if you had gone into that first and they had the ability to knock our boats out or knock the tankers out, now you're in a different fight. So he went in, he beat the crap out of them. And don't forget,
he didn't beat the crap out of them, bro. They're still fucking. They're still fighting. They're still fighting.
They're not fighting. Jeff, they got nothing left.
They're still fighting.
No. First off, nobody's lobbed the bomb at each other in a week and a half. So all of
that because they have the ceasefire,
right? But
that's why nobody's been bombing each other. But we're still paying over $4 a gallon for gas.
Well, here's the thing. So there's got to be some sort of pain to get what. So it's okay. We'll stay the way we are. And they already have intercontinental ballistic missiles.
Yes, right. Capable of hitting 2,000 miles.
They walked into the first meeting and said, "We got enough uranium right now to make 11 nuclear weapons." So right off the bat, you gotta say, "Here's the people who do nothing but shit." It should be death to America on their money. That's how they believe that we should not be here anymore. So to me, I got your point.
Totally agree with that. But you want to know something? You make it a point. You want to do this, and it should be done. Actually, tell you the truth, he shouldn't be doing it. It should have already been done a long time ago.
Reagan should have did it. Yeah, yes. Absolutely.
Long time ago.
Absolutely.
But it's too late to point fingers now and say, well, this and this and this.
Okay.
We can only deal with what we're dealing with right now. And gas going up to what it is, come on, man. It's just a matter of time before the trickle effect happens with that. And if a lot of people are going to be very unhappy. Well, it's going to affect food. It's going to affect a lot of different things.
It hasn't so far. It's only been 6 weeks.
Hasn't so far. It's only been 6 weeks. I know that. But give it another 6 weeks.
Okay, let's say it gets a little bit. Let's say it does. I don't think it will, but let's say it stays this way, and September you start to see low threes, under 2, under 3 in gas, and everything's normally out. Would you say that this 6 weeks, 4 months, whatever it is, was worth it? If Iran's got, they got no military left, their Air Force is gone, their Navy's gone, they got nothing. Frankie said they're throwing rocks. So
listen, maybe so, okay, but they haven't given up yet, and we're still paying $4 a gallon. I don't know what Frankie's paying out there. I don't know what you're paying over there. Okay, thank God I live very close to my job, so we're going through a lot of gas. But nonetheless, $4 a gallon is $4 a gallon.
Again, here's the way to look at it. You can't go after the state sponsor of terrorists and the guys who half control the price of oil based on them waking up and deciding you can or can't go through a strait that doesn't belong to them without there being some sort of hurt. So the hurt is going to be hopefully short term. Now I'll tell you,
Hopefully short
if
term.
if you
Hopefully.
get into next year and you're still $4, and they aren't at the with on their knees, I will tell you you're probably right. They didn't get handled right. But if this thing comes to a conclusion in the next month and the gas prices come down in the next 3 or 4 months, you got to say, okay, I get it. It sucked, but it's worth it. We no longer have to deal with these morons anymore. So,
well, here's the thing too. Okay, there's not a country in the fucking world that could ever sneak up on us, and you know that. Okay, we
right.
have systems, military systems to protect us and in place to make
Uh-huh.
sure that nobody will ever get here, nobody will ever step foot on our shores and
Mhm.
start a war with us. That's one thing. So you don't have to worry about being invaded by air, land, or sea. Okay, now terrorist attacks, completely different story.
Correct.
If you don't think that those forces aren't already here and in effect, and just waiting for the fucking moment to be told, like, okay, enact your plan, you're fucking out of your mind. But nonetheless, the
Mhm.
thing that we're all getting fucked with at this point in time is gas. One thing I will say, it is $4.05 by my house. It seems to have stabilized a little bit. It's
Well,
not
it's
going up.
actually you can see out here. I've seen it. I've seen it driving all over. It 370, 360, 369.
Oh,
So
it,
I'm
it
not
ain't
telling.
it ain't that, and it hasn't been those prices for weeks over
Yeah,
here.
no. Well, I'm saying is you can get it, and I get it. It has stabilized. Gas has come down. It's in the low
Oh,
90s.
it hasn't come down. It's stopped rising.
Yeah,
That's what it does. It hasn't
but
come down.
again, I think the short term hurt has got to outweigh the the thought that in the next couple of months those morons could have at least traveled down the street
Wow.
with a missile and said we got one, and whether they can reach here with it or not yet, that's fine. But they could reach our bases all over the world. Now they could reach all over Europe. They had intercontinental ballistic missiles. So at the end of the day, I get you. It sucks. I hate it. I don't want to pay the gas prices too, but I'd also like to know that these guys, after 47 years of killing our soldiers, threatening the world, death, chanting death to America, that these guys are basically done other than the threats. So we'll see how it plays out. And I apologize, but to me, here's the thing. I'll end in this, and somebody said it before, and I'll agree with it. I did not hear a lot of people on the left screaming that we were paying $4 because Joe Biden wanted to build windmills and they were spending billions of
He was
dollars.
a fucking idiot.
I got you. But we went through the gas prices, as bad as they are now, are still not the high prices we paid 4 years ago. And I get that yesterday.
And you're right. It was yesterday, and you're talking pennies because by my house is 405. I remember under Obama, I was paying 449 for gas.
Yeah.
So you're talking about 44 cents. All right. Now, not a big deal, but yes, it is a big deal because 449 is a lot more than 445. So to say that it was more expensive under there, that means nothing because in today's day and age where we live today, we're paying 405 a gallon.
But again, you're actually, and I get it. I get it.
No, when I open up my wallet and I put gas in my truck and they say $45, $50, and I had a quarter of a tank, that's a big thing.
But again, there's the reward, and then there's the sacrifice, and the sacrifice to get rid of these people and get
but Billy Graz, hold on, Billy Graz. I don't give a fuck about Europe. I don't live there, bro.
I think he's being sarcastic, Billy. Because
whatever. I'm just saying, like I don't, they got to stand on their own.
Yep,
and they got to learn to fucking do. They didn't want to help us when we were asked them for something.
Absolutely,
okay? They didn't want to do anything.
If he wanted to bail out of NATO and Congress went for it, I'd say do it. Form a new
alliance.
I agree with you. I'm
never going to happen.
If he wanted to, and they did. If I were them, I would say, NATO, stick it, because we needed you. We asked for a little help. They didn't even want people. All they want to do was land in our bases on their territory and fly over them. And they said no. I would tell Macron or Dharma, all of those guys, you know what? Stick it. And
and they very well should.
Yeah.
They very well should. But you want to know something? We can't. As a nation, we can't. They won't let it happen. They can't do it. They need us too much. Our influence is just too heavy-handed. We have to be there. That's all there is to it.
Oh,
The world would probably fall apart if we walked away from any of this.
I agree with you 100%. Now, to turn this into sports a little bit, there was some conversations this week where there was some chatter, and I believe it was McNeil or no, it might have been Nimmo, where somebody actually asked him, do you feel that that Nimmo, McNeil, and Alonso were traded because or traded or let go because of politics, that maybe they were a little more right conservative leaning as opposed to the supposed captain of the team whose wife, Lindor's wife, works for Mondami. So there was some chatter that there was some friction in politics. Now, a couple of the guys have said, no, it's not true. I don't think it's true. It's not true. But not for nothing, Mondami has come out now as a big Met fan. Yeah.
But you know what? Stop right there 1 second. Yeah. I don't know if Frank Catalano was watching or not.
That's right.
He is?
No, he is. I just saw him a few minutes
ago. I don't know. It brings me joy to know that he's a Met fan.
Yeah. So
that I think Frank is working for Mamdani right now.
I think he might be, but he said so. Well, actually, now I haven't verified this, so please don't kill me. If somebody's out there wants to check this, please do. There is Sid Rosenberg, the WABC host in the morning, who I listen to occasionally. He can be off. He gets a little too for me, but he said today that they've canceled they're not doing Jewish Heritage Night at Shea Stadium this year. They're doing a whole bunch of other ones, Italian Heritage Night and all these other different Heritage Nights, but they're not doing a Jewish Heritage Night at Citi Field this year, even though the owner is Jewish. And the reasoning that he gave was they think that it was kind of a bargaining chip because Steve Cohen wants a casino. Mamdani's helped him to getting one. And the trade-off is that Mamdani hates the Jews. So they did away with Jewish Heritage Night at Citi Field. Now, I don't know if that's true. I saw that being said today. There's the whole rumor that some of these guys were traded because that maybe they were Trump supporters, MAGA supporters, or at least Republican. And Lindor, maybe him and his wife don't have the same beliefs. If that's all true, that's a shame by the Mets for allowing that to fester in their clubhouse. And if they actually canceled or didn't do a Jewish Heritage Night because Mamdani, it's really pathetic. And if I was a Met fan, I wouldn't be a Met fan today.
Well, I'll say this much. Okay. I know Queens there's a lot of Jews in Queens, isn't there? I don't know about Hasidics, but I know there's their fair share of Jews, just like Brooklyn. Yeah. I know there's some Jews in there.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm just me and you talking. That has nothing to do with politics right now. Is having a Jewish Heritage Night maybe not the smartest idea in the world because of security risks and because of this fucking idiot mayor and the things that he says and does and the way he acts? Maybe it's not the smartest idea to have a Jewish Heritage Month.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just saying,
Jewish Heritage Night.
The Yankees are having one in August. They have, and again, then, I'm not big on any of these nights.
That means nothing then.
Yeah.
Because then if they're having it, what's the difference?
Yeah, see, to me, I don't care about it. I think these I don't know any person that I know who says, wait, it's Italian Heritage Night, I'm going to Yankee Stadium. Like, I don't, if you're going to Yankee game, you're going to a Yankee game because you want to go. I'm not sure anybody's really going for those special nights. Maybe they are. I don't know anybody who does. So I think it's ridiculous anyway, and who cares? But my point is, if the Mets are capitulating to this moron who's going to just destroy New York City in order for this owner to get a casino out by his field, it's pathetic. It's bad enough the teams playing, including the guy who's the star of the team, who's been an absolute joke this year so far. He's made more mental blunders as the leader of the team in the first month of the season than most great players make an entire season. So I don't want to hear about Lindor's this great player. He's not a great player. He's a really good player. Don't give me Lindor's a great player. He's not. He's a good player. And until you show me a season where that guy starts and finishes the same and doesn't forget to cover a double play because he doesn't know how many outs there are, doesn't get picked off third base, doesn't forget how many outs there are while he's on the base paths, tell me then that he's a great player. But he's not a great player.
Listen, I don't follow the Mets as it is. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Go for the Zeppelis. Nice. I can't even eat Zeppelis. Fuck.
I like a good Zeppeli. The problem with Zeppelis is you got to get them while they're hot. The minute they go cold,
that's it. They're done.
Over. It's over. You can't. So you know people go to get like the dozen a shot. You got to get like 6, and then maybe you get 3 good ones before they get cold.
Yeah.
And you got to get them at a feast. You can't go to like the deli down the street.
No,
or the
pizzeria.
Yeah, you got to go to the feast where they're taking them out of the thing, right out of the thing, and you throw them on the
where the oil has been in the pan since last year.
Yeah, they reused last year's oil. It's all good. So if you're going to go for Zeppelis, get them at the feast. Don't do more than 6. Sometimes you can get them in packs of 3. 3 is perfect because any more than 3, you just it's going to be a rough. It's going to be a rough.
You know, it's amazing. You get a chubby fella, such as yourself.
Go ahead.
Lost a little weight, and right away there you are, all righteous and shit. 3's good. 3's good. No. If you're gonna get fucking Zeppelis, you get the biggest bag they got. If they have a bag of 36, you get a bag of get the bag of 36.
You can't eat them fast enough.
You make sure you eat them fast enough. Get third-degree burns in your mouth. I don't care. Polish them off. If you don't eat the Zeppeli while it's hot, it's impossible. I know it's impossible, but you fucking eat it anyway.
And you can't nuke them. The only hope you'd have is if you could do the powdered sugar on the side, and then the Zeppelis that aren't powdered, you could throw back into 24-year-old oil and heat them up again. Maybe that works.
The oil's old enough to vote, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's like you have the 18-year-old Scotch, you have the 24-year-old
oil. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you got to get them at the feast. You go to the feast. It's the one thing I get. And I got to tell you, stay away from the sausage and peppers. I went to a feast last year in Metuchen by my son's house, and it was great. It was such a nice thing with the whole city block. It was great. And I stopped and I said, you know what? I'm going to have a sausage and pepper sandwich. I got to tell you, the sausage was rubber. The bread was horrendous. I said, never again. You can't even eat it. You couldn't even eat it. I threw it away and got me 6 Zeppelis, ate 3 of them.
You know, when I go to the Mount Carmel Feast in Rosebank every year, right?
You still have it?
Yes. And it's still the same. I do the same thing every year. I walk in, right? I make one lap around, say hello to the people I have to say hello to, go to the hamburger stand, get a hamburger and fries, eat that. Then my wife usually at that point in time says, I'm going to go get Zeppelis. And she'll go get a Zeppelis. We end up with a whole bag full of Zeppelis that I end up throwing out half of them, because I got to worry about my sugar hitting like 700. So I eat what I can, and then that's that. Then when I'm done with that, I have a few semi-warm beers. Then I go get the sausage and peppers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So by the time I eat the sausage and peppers, it really doesn't matter, you know?
I guess. I mean, I don't think, I'd have to go back and think of I don't remember the last time I was even there. And I'm sure the last time I was there, I did not have sausage and peppers.
Really?
Yeah, I would almost guarantee I did not have sausage. Oh, check the source device. I don't know why my second screen's not working.
My friend Chris wants to comment, and he says that he can't comment. They won't let him comment.
Yeah, I'm not blocking him. You see everybody else's comment.
I know. He even said he accused me of blocking him. The fuck.
On the boardwalk place right on the corner, once you get up the boardwalk, before you get on the beach on the left, there is a place that makes Zeppelin. I was just there. I was at Martell's yesterday afternoon. I took my wife and I went down there to have dinner right on the boardwalk, and it was beautiful when we got there. And also about 20 minutes in, you ever go someplace and you're kind of sitting outside and it's hot, and then somebody opens the door and the air conditioner comes running out on you? Well, we thought that's what happened. And I'm looking around, there's no door. And I realized that all of a sudden the wind off the ocean was freezing. It must have dropped 20 degrees in like 20 minutes.
Listen, this is bad. Okay. It is 90 degrees in April. It's April. Yeah. Okay. It's not summer yet. For the people out there that are like, oh, I can't, the warm weather's here, this is great. So it's not. It's still spring is a month old, not even a month old.
It's true.
3 weeks old. All right, this is just a freak of nature thing. Next week's going to go back into the 50s.
Yes.
Okay, I'm waiting. Thank God she didn't say it. Thank God she didn't. I don't know if she could hear me, so please don't forgive me. Okay, but usually when it gets this warm this early, my wife's like, we got to go to Home Depot and buy flowers. We got to get flowers. And there's no reason to get flowers because as soon as you put them in, it's going to fucking get cold and die again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like throwing money out the window. So that being said, it's not summer yet, man. You know, it don't stay warm till Mother's Day at the very least. I think I can't hear you again. Say something. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay,
Yeah,
I don't know what's going
like,
on over there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a crazy day. I don't know. It's been that week for me. So
I don't know. This guy came in, or I don't know how to pronounce that. The guy that's from YouTube. Yeah. You're probably the kind of guy that wears shorts to work year round with small little socks. I would think that's what you're striking me as. So just so we know.
I like the hot weather, but as long as I'm not working. If I got to walk around in construction boots and jeans and a vest and a hard hat, it's the worst. If I can walk around in my Skechers slip-ons with my jean shorts and a t-shirt, you can be as hot as you want. It don't bother me at all.
No way. I can't stand the heat. I fucking hate the heat.
Yeah, it don't bother me, especially if I'm in Florida.
Florida heat's different. And by the way, that is my friend from work, Anthony, Mr. Bartolone. I know you wear shorts year round. This motherfucker was coming to work in shorts. There was fucking snow everywhere, and he's moping around the yard in shorts. And I'm like, this guy's making my nuts shrink. Just looking at him, I'm getting cold. And he's not even like a bear. I thought I was bad with the snow and the winter. This guy was like a fucking Yeti, a human Yeti.
Oh boy. I'm trying here.
Well, listen, we're spending way too much time. Who gives a fuck about the weather, the price of gas, and everything else? I got some shit I got to tell you.
Go ahead, bring it on,
okay, man. This is important, okay?
Go ahead.
Next week at this time,
go ahead.
The March to Forever begins.
Oh, boy.
The New York Jets will start their 3-day assault on the NFL by hitting on all 9 picks.
Oh, boy.
It doesn't matter. They could draft 9 punters. We're on our way. This is it. This is the big moment. Okay?
This is it. This is it. This is
it. This time for real. All the rest of those were practice. This time for real. I thought you had to leave because you were getting sick. I was going to say that ain't right.
I just threw up in a bucket. I threw up in a bucket. I want to do it on screen. I'm just trying to get. I got my whole draft worked out. I did the whole thing, right? I got my prospects. I got my top 10 picks. I got my draft order. I have it on the computer, and I want to show it. And for some reason tonight, my second screen won't work. So it's just bugging me out right now.
Let me ask you a couple questions.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So now let's start with the number 1 pick.
Go ahead.
Okay. You're the Oakland Raiders. Yeah. Is there anything at all that anybody can come to you and say, would you take this for the number 1 pick? Anything. Think hard about that. Is there anything that you could say would make you give up that pick?
I would say the answer is no, because as much as I don't think he's all world, he's the best option in his draft, and I think he's a legitimate quarterback in the future. Like, he may be one of those guys that turns into like Sam Darnold, he gets on a bad team and never progresses. I don't know, but so I'd say the answer to that question is absolutely no. Unless there's some hidden thing about him that nobody knows, Fernando Mendoza will be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft.
Well, there's no doubting that. And I'm glad that Matt's still around, because I got a question. See what you think of this. Let's say Philadelphia contacted them and said that they would be willing to give up Jalen Hurts and their number 1 pick this year.
Yep, that's been a rumor out there this year right now.
Oh, so I haven't seen that rumor.
Yeah,
but that's been a rumor. What would you do with that?
I would trade. I would make, if I had the Raiders, and I'm not a big fan of Jalen Hurts, but he's a legitimate NFL quarterback. Like, he has already won a Super Bowl. you can win with him, even though I don't think he's great. You don't know that about Fernando Mendoza at this point. So if I'm the Raiders and I could get their pick and Jalen Hurts, I would do that in a heartbeat.
I don't know where they're picking. I think it's in the low 20s, right? Not high 20s.
Yeah. Well, they didn't make the playoffs, so it might not be that high.
No, didn't they made they weren't a wild card at least?
I don't
or
think so.
Philly?
Hold on. NFL draft order. Sorry, give me a second. I'll see if I can figure that out for you right now.
About 24, 25.
I'm trying to find it if I can get to it here. NFL. Let's see. Hold on a second.
Matt, why no? Why no? Because I kind of lean towards Tommy. You already know what you got with Jalen Hurts. Mendoza, you don't know what's going to happen once he gets here. And that team is bad, the Raiders, but it doesn't matter. They're not going to be Super Bowl contenders because they got Jalen Hurts either.
Yeah, I disagree, Matt. Like, I understand that you think, and some people think, there are a few guys who actually would take Ty Simpson over him. Now, I wouldn't. I
haven't seen that anywhere.
Yeah,
although
I have.
It seems as though that Ty Simpson's stock is rising a little bit.
Yeah. Now he's also the number one possible draft bust, so you got to be careful on that one. And it's true, he hasn't played enough in college. There are some flaws in his game, and I think Mendoza. I think the question becomes: are you sure that you can win and turn Mendoza and the Raiders around at number one, or do you think you got a better chance with Hurts, who's already a proven winner? I don't like Hurts. But anytime you're drafting players, it is a 50-50 at best that these guys are going to turn into what you think they are. Well, Jalen Hurts is already a professional quarterback. So
it's probably even less than 50-50.
It's possible. It's very possible. You're right about that. So to me, I've seen that rumor, and that would be a tough one if you're the Raiders, because you think about it, Jeff. How many guys have they drafted at number one and it's failed? I mean, we go back to Jamarcus Russell. I mean, right off the bat, here's a guy that
there's so many that have failed, and I keep going back to 1 year, and that was the year that Sam Darnold was drafted, Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Rosen, and everybody said Rosen was the most NFL ready out of all of them, and he was the first one out of the league. The only one that won a Super Bowl out of that batch so far has been Darnold.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of unbelievable considering that the other guys, have MVPs, and it's unbelievable. It is what it is, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'm looking right now. So Philadelphia has the number 23 pick. So, Matt, I know you're high on Mendoza, and I'm not telling you that you're wrong. I watched the kid play. I think he's a little stiff. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think he had a great career probably. I'm just saying it's still 50-50 that he goes to the Raiders, who are a very bad team, and blossoms into that guy. Think about this. Think about the last guy who came out with that kind of hype that had success early was probably Andrew Luck. We're talking a decade or better ago.
Yeah, but listen, everybody knows Mendoza's going to a bad team. He's not going to have success next year or even the year after. It's going to take a few years, and that's even if he plays next year.
Yeah. Listen, again, you're probably not going to see him early. I think it's going to be Kirk Cousins' job to play. I think he's got an opportunity. But if you told me I can have Jalen Hurts, who's already a Super Bowl winner, and again, I'm not a fan of Hurts. I think he's overrated.
What has he been to 2 Super Bowls in 4 years?
2 Super Bowls, and if his team didn't fall apart the year before, he would have been the MVP before that. So
and I agree with you. I'm not saying he's the best, but I'm just thinking of teams that may have enough to pursue that. Because to me, if the Jets were to go after that, what are they going to do? What are they going to offer? They're going to have to offer everything they got, and you don't even know if this guy is going to make it or not.
Yeah,
okay? And then maybe Pittsburgh. Does Pittsburgh have enough? I don't know. Because Aaron Rodgers, the draft is next Thursday. This fucking guy still isn't in.
I think Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, again, I think he's coming back. I think the only question is he's not going to announce it till after everything's over, and he could just show up in July. But he knows that if he says now he's in, but doesn't come, it's going to be the biggest story in the world. They're going to. I think if there's a team that's going to draft a quarterback, I heard that they brought the kid from Drew Law from Penn State. They brought him in. I would not be shocked if they took Ty Simpson. I think the Steelers, no matter what, draft a quarterback this year. Even though they got the kid Howard from Ohio State, I still think the Pittsburgh drafts a quarterback this year.
I'm hoping that at 16, even if this guy is there, that the Jets don't take him. I hope they stay the course.
Yeah.
I hope they take the defensive player with their first pick.
Yeah.
And then at 16, I hope they get a wide receiver.
I think that's exactly how they're going to go.
Yeah. They have to. They have to. If they do, I think if they show that they're smart and they pick the right way and they go with players that are, I don't want to say safe, but are safer bets. Don't go after the wild card where they say, like, this guy's going to reset the wheel if he becomes what we think he is. Go with the guy that's going to help the team and impact the team now. I would rather have the blue collar guy than the white collar elitist, so to speak. You know what I mean?
No, I agree totally. If I were the Jets, with all the draft, they have 3 number ones again. I think again next year.
Yeah. Yep.
So if I were the Jets, I would do exactly what you just said. To me, it's get Arvell Reese with their first pick, and then grab hopefully a really outstanding or at least a solid wide receiver with number 2, with their second number 1. And then next year, if there's a true great class like people think it's going to be, you have the ability to move anywhere you want in that first round and get the guy you want.
If Simpson is there with the first pick in the second round, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I wouldn't have a problem with that, because if you think that's the guy for you, then who are we to say?
Listen, if Simpson falls into the second, or there's a you can even take a run at one of these other guys. Let me see. I got my list here of quarterbacks. I mean,
listen, to some of these other quarterbacks,
you can look at a lot of these guys, K. Klubnik, and or some of these other guys. No, Nico. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of guys that you can look at and go, hey, I'll take a shot at him in the third round. That I could see doing, but.
Do you know what I hate about that? I understand, and I know what you're going to say, so please, and I know what other people may say, so please. I would rather not wait to the third or fourth round to go after your quarterback and hope and get a project quarterback when you could get depth players and possibly get somebody that could help your team today. I understand you need depth pieces. I understand you need a lot of pieces on this team. Okay, a lot, not just the Jets, a lot of teams.
Sure.
So I can't see wasting, unless you got 2 third-round picks or whatever. I can't see wasting a pick. They did it with Christian Hackenberg. Everybody wanted the guy to play. The guy never played. Out of the NFL, never fucking played a snap on a fucking team, and never got a chance. And I just want to see them finally hit on something, just once. Hit something. You know what I mean? Just be competitive.
Yeah,
be competitive.
I agree. I think if you're the Jets, I don't think the wide receiver in the draft is enough. I know it's Tate, good player. I like Reese. If I'm the Jets, you traded Johnson. I think you need to get a better pass rush this year. I would go with Reese. And then I would get the best player that would fit the need, offensive guard. I would take anybody at 16 that's going to make my team better next year. Wide receiver would be the best. If I were them,
I agree.
That's where I go. It gets a little sketchy. I know there's some good players and I would take a shot at one of those guys and at that 16 picks. Or, if you don't like everybody and you want to drop down a little bit, maybe one of those other teams that need a quarterback like Simpson will jump up into your spot. And if you're the Jets, if you do love Simpson, you have the capital to move up and grab him.
But something, is there, even if you move out of 2 or 16, whatever, it doesn't matter, either one. Yeah. Who's in this draft where you're going to get somebody to give you a boatload of picks? What are you going to get? Let's swap number 1s, and I'll give you a number 4 next year.
Yeah, I would.
When was the last? And I say it. I've said it multiple times. When was the last 4th round pick for the New York Jets that has ever impacted the team and helped the team win? Nobody, as far as I
Nobody.
know.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
on to the Giants.
Go ahead.
Okay, you're on the clock, number 5. What are you hoping to see?
Sonny Styles. I would take either Sonny Styles. That's the pick I'd want. He makes them better. And I know they signed Tremaine Edmonds, and he's a good player, 28 years old. And I like Micah McFadden, but he's been way too hurt. The Giants have not drafted a true linebacker since Carl Banks. I want a true linebacker. You can, at that point, there's a bunch of things you could do. I would settle on Caleb Downs, the safety. I think Caleb Downs is out of
LSU, isn't he? No.
Maybe Ohio State, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So I would go, at Ohio State. I'm sorry, I drew a blank. So I would go. I would go with that. For you guys, haven't talked about the kid from Arkansas? He's better than the dude from Alabama. Again, I'm not. I don't want to get.
First of all, nobody else is even talking about the guy from Arkansas. It's all about Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
I've heard and I've read about him, but there's not much way. It's all about Ty Simpson.
Yeah, again, I think Simpson's got a lot of upside, but there's a lot. I think that's a kid who probably dealt with some more time in college. Again, to me, if I could get Sonny Styles, that's the guy I'm going to get. I could live with the safety. The problem with the safety is for me, and again, I don't know the defense they're going to play. They've had McKinney, Julian Love. They've had a series of guys they've left. I need an impact guy. In the front 7, we had the worst run defense, second worst. They were 31st in the league in run defense last year. I want a linebacker who shuts down the run. If I got Edmonds and McFadden and Styles, it's a good rotation. And if somebody's down, I got a player. And I think Sonny Styles is a guy who could be your bedrock guy for the next 5 or 7 years. That's my pick. And I don't want to hear anybody tell me about Jeremiah Love. You can tell me anything you want. Here's the problem I have, Jeff. He's a great back. He may be the best player in the draft. He may be the most talented running back we've seen since, maybe Bijan or Saquon. Hell of a player. The problem I have is the Giants were number 5 rushing offense last year. They did a good job with Scadaboo, and then Tyrone Tracy found his wheels. They were the number 5 rushing offense and the 31st ranked rushing defense. I'm fixing the defense. I don't care what Jeremiah Love can do for me. It's the same thing, Jeff, that we argued about with Saquon. And I was wrong. Saquon's a great player. But the problem is you stuck Saquon in the middle of a team that couldn't block for him, didn't have no offense, and it did not let him become the back that he could have been and became the first year with the Eagles.
But you know what? And what happened? This is going to be his 3rd year with the Eagles?
Third year.
3rd year with the Eagles. So far it's split. Okay?
Correct.
He played last year, but then again, the first year with the Eagles was an amazing year. Can't take that away from him.
Nope.
He played really good, but the second year with the Eagles was not like the first year, man. Definitely not like the first year, and everybody knows that.
Well, because they had a ton of guys hurt on the offensive line. Their quarterback and their best receiver hated each other. The fans were throwing bricks at the offensive coordinator's house because they sucked. So I agree with you. But what it showed was when he plays behind.
Oh my God! You want to read that one of those comments there?
I am back. Let's get back to the.
I got to ask Chris a question. Boy. Are you with my brother?
Wow. I'm going to stay out of that one, Chris. Good. It's a great question to ponder, maybe not here.
Oh my goodness.
Frank being the Met fan, maybe he can answer that one for us. But boy, oh boy. We'll get to the Mets again in a little bit. But yeah, if I'm the Giants, it's strictly defense. We've had a putrid defense. Do you know how many times I've had to watch the Giants, 2nd and 25, and they give up a second down play that's 18 yards, or they're 3rd and 15, and you're ready to turn the ball over, and they run for 16 yards. Like, I am so fed up with the way they play defense that
you got to remember who you're talking to here. Okay, it sounds a lot like the team in green across the hall.
Yes, I agree.
Neither team was lighting up the fucking league.
No, I agree.
You know,
They had different issues, but a lot of them are the same. And it's there's a lot of guys who did not play but I mean, let's talk a little bit about the Dexter Lawrence because I think this fits what I'm about to say. Dexter Lawrence is a great player. If I'm the Giants, bye-bye Dexter. Tell him
I
you
don't blame you.
show up and play or don't play. You can do whatever you want. You don't want to play? Great. We'll save your money for the year and you could sit it out. It ain't a problem. You won't get paid. We'll save the money. To me, I can watch anybody Jeff, I can pay you and you would stumble into a half a sack next year.
Listen, I hear you. And didn't his production go down last year?
Yeah, he went from 9 sacks to a half a sack. He showed up.
That's a big, big difference, man.
And he showed up in camp out of shape, complaining on halfway through, not even halfway through his deal. Now, again, here's a guy who signed the deal 2 years ago and automatically came back and said, "Oh yeah, by the way, some other guy signed. I want more money." They said, "No, you got a deal. It's 3 more years old."
Frank Catalano. What are you, Frank Catalanoberg? That's an Italian name. I think I'm going to require some proof on that one, Frank.
So I say, if I'm the Giants, I don't care about Dexter Lawrence. And that's the same problem I have with the Jets in the last 5 games last year. They just stopped playing. And Dexter Lawrence and Deonte Banks and some of the other guys on that team just quit. And if the Giants coaching staff and scouting department didn't pick up on that, then shame on them. But to me, Dexter, play or don't play. You want another contract eventually? I suggest you go out and come back this year, play your ass off, and maybe somebody want to trade for you. If not, sit on the sideline, don't collect the paycheck.
He's 28?
28 years old.
A lot of defensive linemen, they don't last as long as offensive linemen.
I agree.
But they can go into their early 30s, so he does have some time left. But you got to show production.
You got to have. If he had another good year, if last year he had 8, 9, 10 sacks, had a great year, I don't think the Giants would be bitching about trying to give him a little bit more money or working with him. But to show up out of shape, get a half a sack, play like it didn't matter last year, and then show up this year and say, "I want to be traded." Who wants you? Like, do you think?
You know what? That's where the Giants have to be like, "You want to be traded? Okay, this is bad culture. We don't need this shit here."
Yeah,
and trade him.
Yeah, but
show. I'm sorry. Right. Show the disgruntled player. You want to go? Okay. How's it going to feel when we trade you for a 6th round pick or a 7th round pick? Okay, you know what you are. You know that you came in late, out of shape. You didn't do nothing. You got traded for nothing. A bag of footballs and a 7th rounder. If you hit 5 sacks, we're going to get a kicking tee out of it too.
Yeah, I mean, just simple fact is this: he's going to want to get traded, but the team that signs him, he's going to want more money and an extension. Coming off of that, and then the attitude this year, who's giving him an extension? Anybody that takes him is going to be, well, you could come, but you're going to play out. You're going to play at least this year on this contract, and if you got a big year, then we'll talk about more money. But I dislike players like this. I get the fact that you should make every dollar you can, but you signed a contract and you stuck with it, and that's just the shape of it.
Well, you know what? That's money. While the NFL cannot make a rule that says that you can't renegotiate your deal, but I mean something that none of these players in the NFL, in sports in general, will live up to their end of the deal. And as soon as they see somebody else make more money, they want to put their hand back in the pot. But when you were handed the largest amount of money for a non-quarterback in 2023, and I'm not talking about Dexter Lawrence, I'm just talking in general, that was okay. And now somebody came around and is making more than you. So, I don't understand, man. I really don't.
Yeah, and Alan, I have no problem trading him, getting picks for him. It's got to be value, though. I'm not trading him for a 6th and 7th round pick. If somebody comes up and says, if you could get to me, if you're the Giants, and you can get a 2nd and a 3rd, a 1st would be great. But based on
for Dexter Lawrence?
Yeah, when he's healthy, he's the top 3 defensive tackle in this game. Problem was he showed up in bad shape, didn't play well last year, and he's disgruntled. So it's going to be extremely, and he wants a new deal. So it's an extremely hard thing to get. You're not going to get that for him. Like Quinnen Williams. The Jets got a boatload for Quinnen Williams because, he's a young, plays hard. I don't believe he's as good as Dexter Lawrence, but he could be, and he might be. And he was still working on the right contract. So, but if I'm the Giants, Allen, I would
keep going.
I would trade him. I would get rid of him, or force him to play on the money he's got. Would I care? No. At this point, Gumani Lou, I agree. He's making $21 million. He got all the guaranteed money up front. To me, it's a piggish, and I don't want him. But I'm also not. I'm not going to cut him and take the salary cap hit, and I'm not trading him for a 6th-round pick. It's got to be fair value, and then I would trade him in a heartbeat. To be honest with you. Yeah, I remember that one, Frankie. In fact, I know they're replaying it tonight, the Giants Broncos. But yeah, I mean that's the problem I have with Dexter Lawrence. I think he's. To me, after Aaron Donald, he was the best tackle the best interior tackle in the league for a couple years. And then whatever happened last year, that can't be your motivation. You're making big money. Every year, somebody's going to outdo your contract. Whether it's Chris Jones or any of these other guys, you got to live with it. And then when it's your time, go out there and earn the money and force the team to give you an extension and give you more money. But he didn't do that last year. And the way it's going right now, the Giants aren't going to do it. And I don't think any other team, any team that they trade him to is not going to give him the extension he wants. So trading him to the Jacksonville Jaguars, to me, I trade him to Siberia. I sent him to Cleveland. Tell him to deal with that. So I don't care. We're going to negotiate. Yeah, he has no leverage in this right now. He has 2 years left on his contract. He's already losing his roster bonus, or I think his workout bonus. He just lost $500,000, and he's going to lose $50,000 a day if he's going to show up for the mandatory camp. So, to me, I have no use for players like that. You don't want to be here because the team's losing. I got you. You know what? That's fine. But you signed the contract when they were bad. Live with it. This is the team you got. You got a good head coach now. Hopefully things turn around. Be part of that and be happy you make it $21 million. That's the way.
That's what he makes now, Dexter Lawrence. He's making
$21 million.
Wait, stop, please. Time out.
Yeah.
He's making $21 million. He's complaining.
Yes.
You need to trade him immediately for whatever you can get.
Really
do. You really, Tom. $21 million.
Yes.
Half a sack last year. Correct. I don't give a fuck. If I went into the NFL right now at my point in time in my life, at my age, and I got 15 sacks, you'd be like, you're the greatest defensive tackle in your age bracket. It means nothing. This guy, half a sack last year, you need to cut ties with him. $21 million and he's giving you a hard time. I would have had him on the block. I would take anything. Give me a water bottle that somebody's dog chewed on. I'll take it.
I'd be happy if they traded him at this point. As a Giant fan, my entire life, I would tell you I would trade Dexter Lawrence tomorrow. But I do want value. I do want a little value. I'm not trading for a 6th-round pick, but you could, somebody get. The problem is nobody's going to give him the extension he wants. He wants to be paid at top 2 NFL defensive tackles, and coming off that. And this right now, nobody's giving him that money. Nobody. For what? You're going to give him a raise and then 2 other guys jump him, and then the next year he's going to hold out again? Nobody wants to see that. Nobody's going to see that.
No, of course. Listen, I hear you, but sometimes you just need to get rid of you're starting something new over there.
Yeah.
Okay? You have some young players. You have some a new coach. You have a chance at a new beginning. Okay? Dave Gettleman put you guys so far behind for how many years that you're probably just climbing out of the hole at best. So if you could get rid of this guy, I would do that in a heartbeat and be like, you got to go.
All right, so here's I wanted to put it up on the screen, but I'm going to read out my top 10. This is my draft order. Since we won't be on the air next year for the first time in 10 years, we will not be doing an NFL draft show. I apologize, but I got to be at my son's wedding, so I will not be on the show.
I think that's a bullshit excuse, to be honest with you. I'm just telling you straight up. I would tell your son that this is the first time in 10 years that I got to. No, I'm not. I can't do it. Sorry.
So here's how I see it. I will post this during the week before the draft, but I got Fernando Mendoza going number 1. Arvell Reese will go to the Jets. David Bailey, edge rusher out of Texas Tech, will go to the Cardinals. Jeremiah Love, the running back, will go to the Tennessee Titans. That's where Jeremiah Love goes. Giants get Sonny Styles. At 6, the Miami Dolphins will take Francis Mayoga from offensive lineman from Miami. I'm sorry, not to the Dolphins. That's the Cleveland Browns. I'm sorry. It says Miami next to his name. Carnell Tate, the wide receiver from Ohio State, goes to the
You haven't
Washington
mentioned
Redskins.
Bailey yet, have you?
Yeah, Bailey is going to go number 3 to the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
Ruben Bain Jr. goes to the Saints. That's defensive lineman, edge rusher. Spencer Fano is the offensive line from Utah, goes to the Chiefs. The Chiefs got to get better up front, so that's got to happen. And I believe Caleb Downs will drop to the Cincinnati Bengals at number 10. So again, Mendoza to the Raiders, Reese to the Jets, Bailey to the Cardinals, Love goes to the Titans, Sonny Styles to the Giants, Mayoga goes to the Browns, Carnell Tate goes to the Redskins, Ruben Bain Jr. goes to the Saints, Spencer Fano goes to the Chiefs, and Caleb Downs goes to Ohio State. Mendoza's locked. Jets take defense. Giants land the defensive player that they need, and that's the way I see it. And I believe only one wide receiver. Now, I've seen a bunch of stuff, and I'm stealing this one, but I do believe, and I agree with, I do believe that there's a chance only one wide receiver cracks the top 10, which doesn't never stop. I think you're going to see some strange stuff happen early in this draft, and there could be some stuff to happen. I doubt they get a first. I think their best bet is a young, promising receiver like Thomas. Alan, if you could tell me I can get a young, promising receiver like that and a pick, I would trade him. To Jeff's point, I trade him for a bag of balls if I can get a draft pick with it. I relieve myself of that money. I get a cheaper version. Let me tell you something. You can get anybody to come up with what he did last year. Like I said, I could throw Jeff out there every play, and eventually the quarterback will trip over him, and he'll get a half a sack. So at 60 years old, Jeff will get me a half a sack for $21 million. I guarantee you.
For $21 million, Tom, I'm getting you a whole sack.
That's what I'm telling you right now.
If you could arrange that for me, I will do whatever I can to get you that whole sack, man.
Jeff would stop eating Wendy's and McDonald's and White Castles for a year. If I told him one sack for $21 million, he'd pull it together.
I, believe it or not, have not had White Castle in months.
Really?
And I'm afraid to do so at this point in time. Yeah. Wendy's, I had Wendy's just Saturday. We stopped and we grabbed Wendy's real quick after I went to the eye doctor and got great news.
Oh, yeah?
And, yeah.
Exactly, Lou. I'm telling you, for $21 million, I think any one of us can get out there and trip over a half a sack. I'm sorry. I don't care. If you told me that you're going to play 16 games, 70 plays, and all you had to do is come up with a half a sack to collect $21 million, it's going to happen. Even if you said to the guy in front of you, dude, I'll give you $10 million. Let me get past you. I mean, think about it. It's a half a sack. The guy runs past you. You're getting pancaked. You stick your hand up. You hit his ankle, and he trips and falls. You got it. It's a half a sack.
I didn't know that he was that bad off last year.
Oh, yeah.
Half a sack.
Yeah.
Didn't he have 2 good years in a row?
He probably had 3 really good years. I want to say he had 12 sacks the year before that, but I could be wrong on that.
No, I think you're right, bro. I think you're right.
He had 9
I gotta look it up.
The year before, and then he wound up with a half a sack last year. And when you watch the Giants and you watch the fact that they're the 31st run defense, and you're watching him get pushed around, you say to yourself, this guy just ain't playing. This guy just don't care. And that's the problem. Alan, would not shock me, but I think they're going to go offense on that team. I think that they need to get some talent there.
Dude, he only had 18 fucking tackles last year.
Yeah,
not one. Oh no, that's the wrong guy. I'm sorry. Wrong guy.
Yeah, Alan, I don't disagree. It could happen. I do think that he's going to take some weapons there and I think Jeremiah Love is a talented player, and somebody's going to snatch him up. Now, could he switch and take Styles? Yeah, but again, I think it's going to be Love. But again, it would not shock me. Now, if that order stays and Styles goes ahead, I don't know what the Giants do. They may go Downs. They could go wide receiver and Tate at that point. If I'm the Giants, I'm not going running back. As much as I think Love is a great player, they don't need a running back.
Just for the record, Dexter Lawrence, I saw Louis Pica said 14 solos. Yeah, that was the lowest solo tackle for his career, 14. He had 31 tackles altogether, and his career 2.5, 4, 2.5, 7.5, 4.5, and then 9, and then a half a sack. So 30.5 sacks since 2019. Dude, I would pay to get rid of that guy because he's got to be on the decline at this point in time.
Well, again, I think it's the attitude. It's it's hard to say somebody 28 years old is on the decline. And yes,
6'4", 340 pounds.
Yeah, he's
not on the rise. That's for sure.
Well, when he's playing well, he's one of the most double team players in the league. He occupies a lot of space, and he's a heck of a player. The problem is he wasn't motivated last year, and you could see it wasn't the same player. And when you see that. And then you see him come in and say, I'm sorry, I want to make $26 million, not $21 million, because four other guys got a bigger deal. Well, you know what? They probably got a bigger deal because you got your deal before that. I just think if you're the Giants, you want to part ways, but you want to get something in return. To me, it's take the money off the board and get draft picks, but it's got to be good picks. You got to get a couple, even if it's next year. Even if you're telling me I'm winding up with a number 1 and a number 2 or 2 number 2s or something crazy. But I got to get some sort of value for that. And I'll dump the money. I'll dump his $21 million contract this year and next year and get a couple of use that money on a couple of other players. And yeah, if I could trade him for the wide receiver from Jacksonville or go get some talent, no doubt. But the Giants, if everything plays out, the Giants will take defense. So will the Jets. The question is going to be for the Jets is will they take a flyer on a wide receiver in the second on their second pick? That's the question of the day. So
I think they need to go wide receiver, man, with that pick. They have to.
Yeah, they could go with, I mean, some people like Mekhi Lemon. I'm not saying I don't know enough about him. I did not even Carl Banks who normally stands up for. Oh yeah, Louis Pica. That was a big thing. I mean, Carl Banks was killing him last year. I mean, he went on a podcast or whatever and completely he came out and said basically the other teams don't respect us anymore up there because you're not playing well. So yeah, I agree with Louis on that 100%. So yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be interesting. I don't see a lot of changing up front. There's a lot of depth in this draft, and there's only a few guys that I would say, are no doubters. I think Reese, I think Love, Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles. I think all those kind of guys are locks, but I think there's some good depth. And I got to think of this one, if you're a team looking for some interior defensive line help, offensive line help, I think you can help yourself in this draft. I just don't think there's a lot of names or sure bets in this draft. And I think the quarterback room is a complete guess, whether you're taking a kid from Penn State or you're taking Simpson or Klubiak or any of those other guys. To me, they're prospects at best. They're guys that are, clipboard holders 5 years from now.
Well, here's the thing, too, with those guys that you mentioned. There's Mendoza, Simpson, and then everybody else, it seems.
Yeah.
So let's just say, for argument's sake, that's the way it pans out.
Yep.
And a lot of these guys don't go until day 2, maybe day 3. Okay? I've been reading about some of them because they say, other quarterbacks involved in the draft, all this other shit. Yeah. And a lot of people say that some of these guys have gotten hurt and they were projected to be first-round picks, maybe even the first pick in the draft. So is it that these guys are that bad, or could they make a good quarterback for somebody, you think?
Well, I thought Drew, the kid from Penn State, I thought a couple years ago he had some ability. I still do. I think it's been a little bit of injuries and a down senior year, or his last year. I don't know if it was a junior or senior year. Let me see. He was on my list. I don't think he made my quarterback list, but I'm a fan. I like his game in the sense that I think he's a tough player. I think he makes the throws. But yeah, I just don't think there's a quarterback in this draft that you would say 3 years from now he'll be a really, really good player. Like he'll be. Let's think of a quarterback that we could compare him to. Tom, I agree. I think Mekhi Lemon, if he was 6'1", yeah, I agree, 100%. I think that
a lot of the receivers though this year seem to be on the short side and light.
Yeah,
under 6 foot or around 6 foot, and some of them are in the high 180s, 190s. They're not exactly big guys this year.
Well, yeah, again, I think that's why you won't see a lot of them going in the top 10. I mean, usually, corners, wide receivers, those are guys that are constantly in that defensive ends. You want quarterbacks, you want edge rushers, you want corners, and you want diva wide receivers. There's not a lot of all of that in this draft. Maybe the edge rusher with Bailey and Reese.
No, but you want a wide receiver that's going to be durable too. You don't want a guy that's like a fucking midget running across the middle and getting fucking killed.
Well, the problem is in the pros, those guys become the interior guy. They become your slot receiver. And while that's a need, that nowadays those guys aren't going in the top 10. The guys who are 6'3", 6'4", 190, 210 pounds, who run the 4.3 40. Those are the guys that are going in the top 10. You're a guy who's 5'10".
There's none of them around, it seems. None of these guys seem to fit that size.
Oh, that's kind of the problem. So that's why I think early on, I think you could see some strange stuff happen, and I think there's some. I think you could see a run on some offensive linemen in this draft. It would not shock me if some of these guys that I called out slipped out in the first round. Taking a safety, Caleb Downs. I think Matt called it. He's a smart player. He's a heck of a player. But that's not high up on a lot of teams' boards. A lot of these teams up top, that's not high on their board. So we'll see. I think you got to watch a couple things. Does Jeremiah Love could fall a long way, and I'm not saying out of the first round. I'm just saying is, while it's always a need. What people are seeing nowadays is that the running back by committee or the lesser known guy, you can look at the Giants. I mean, Scadaboo's a good back. Tyrone Tracy back. They were number 5 in the league rushing last year. Now it helped because of the quarterback. He had a good year running the ball too. But what it's showing you is you don't need to have Saquon, who had a great year 2 years ago and last year didn't, and that team wasn't very good. So to me, you can have a great back like Saquon and still not have a great offense. You can have 2 average running backs like the Giants do, and you can be number 5 rushing. So I think that's telling you is there's a real good chance that a guy like Love could fall out of the top 10 unless somebody falls in love or they jump in and take it.
Well, look at that kid from the Raiders last year, Genty.
Yep.
He got drafted high. I don't think he met expectations last year. It wasn't bad, but he didn't even crack 1,000 yards. And I understand he was playing on a bad team, but
yeah,
I don't think he met the expectations of what they expected.
Yeah, no, Alan, you're 100% right. And Frankie, if the Giants take Jeremiah Love at 5, there's a reason. And I know that what's his name, Coach Harbaugh said he wants to build this Giant team around running the football with the running backs, not with the quarterback. And it would be smart, but here's the problem: you can go ahead and go from is the Giants going to be that much better if their offense goes from the 5th best running back rushing offense to the 4th or the 3rd, and their defense goes from 31st to 30th? That's the problem I have. They're not going to be better. They're not going to make this team better by drafting the best running back out there. To me, fix the offensive line, teach the quarterback to stay in the pocket and throw the ball, keep neighbors healthy. They'll be fine offensively. The Giants scored points last year. They'll score points this year with that same offense that I just told you. They need to play defense. And to me, I don't care if it's Downs or it's Sonny Styles. I want the best defensive player that my team can get their hands on at that pick. If
Are
both
they
those,
are they going to go wide receiver? They need a receiver. Come on, man.
they won't go. I don't think they'll take a receiver. They do need one. You're 100% right. No, well, they did okay in free agency, but I don't know if they got the guy who's going to complement them. Again, I think getting Lively from the Ravens for tight end makes them much better. I think the moves they made with the offensive line in the offseason made them better. The question is just going to be, can Neighbors come back, be Neighbors, and the offense stay healthy? Again, they were pretty good offensively without him most of the year. So to me, offensively, I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm saying is I don't worry about it, but they cannot be ranked number 31 next year. That's why they lost all those games. They lost 4 or 5 games with the lead because their defense sucked. Think about if you won 3 of those games, you're actually thinking about talking about being in the playoffs last year. I mean, you're actually in that spot. So
Frank Catalano, are you here listening to this? Please help me.
Yeah, all it says if you win half the games that they blew at the end of the game, if you win half of them, you're at least talking about a playoff spot. So to me, I don't care who's available offensively in the first round. I want a defensive player. Now, if Downs is gone and Sonny Styles is gone and Bailey's gone, I'll listen at that point. But to me, give me the best defensive player in the draft if Sonny Styles is available, and I'll take him. So, yeah, Frank, it's him. That's what I'm saying. I want to fix my defense. If I could go back in time and fix something for the Giants last year, it was been the defense. We didn't fix it, and it cost them 5 or 6 games with leads. I mean, a couple of big ones, just like the one you brought up before. I had to lose that a damn ugly team in orange.
Oh my God!
Fake Hall of Fame running back.
No, what's the next you're going to say? That Terrell Davis don't deserve the jacket?
Well, I think Terrell Davis was slighted because Terrell Davis had a better chance of being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame than the Football Hall of Fame. Because I heard he plays some sort of harmonica, maybe.
Oh,
so
my God.
I would have voted for him for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Let alone, I never would have voted for him for the Football.
Dude, I hope you're about to transition with that, man. I really hope so.
Yeah, we are going to transition to that. And Alan, yes, if Styles is gone, I would trade down in the draft and go offensive line, go interior offensive line. Give me the best guard in the draft. You're good on the corners on the offensive line. I think it's okay. I would fix the guard spots at that point. So yes, or maybe go wide receiver if you really wanted to get crazy. But to me, I agree with Alan. And the Giants have the best team ever. Giants, if Bo doesn't get hurt, Denver wins 2 Super Bowls. Oh, Bo Jackson? Well, Bo Jackson, no, I don't think that happens. Definitely not Bo Nix. Bo Jackson. I don't know. How does Denver win? So you think they're going to win this year if Bo Nix stays healthy? All right, it's a good thought. As bad as your team looked in the playoffs, I get it.
Oh my God!
Maybe you guys could talk Terrell Davis to coming back and playing in the only game he ever played well in.
Oh my goodness!
So anyway,
it's so bad, so bad.
If we're talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I did wear my shirt tonight to honor my favorite band, Iron Maiden. I would tell you, Jeff, I hope Iron Maiden tells him to go screw. I hope Maiden says, "I don't care. We don't care. We should have been in there 20 years ago." I think if I was Iron Maiden, I would tell them I could care less. I don't think anybody cares about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame other than us because it gives us something to talk about.
I care about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I'll tell you why I care about it.
Why do you care?
I care about a lot of different Hall of Fames because I think it connects to the past in what the Hall of Fame represents. So when you have Baseball Hall of Fame and Football Hall of Fame, even the Music Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, whatever you want to call it, it connects to artists that maybe aren't as relevant anymore as they once were, especially with music. And sports, it just leaves that connection to the past, so you can still see it. But as far as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame goes, and we've said this how many countless times, keep calling it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and nobody's going to take it seriously.
Yes.
Now, I don't know. I don't remember offhand the nominees and then the people that actually won, but there was a couple people that actually got in that probably don't deserve to be in anything rock and roll.
Well, here's the list of people who got in. Let me see. Oasis, Phil
Okay, no,
Collins,
wait, hold on. Oasis, what?
Phil Collins,
Phil, okay,
Iron Maiden, Billy Idol, Wu-Tang Clan.
okay, stop right there.
Yeah.
They do not belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They're a hip hop group.
No, again, I'm not disagreeing, but the precedent's already been set because a whole bunch.
I know, but I'm just saying if we went by the name Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Wu-Tang Clan should not be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They are not rock and roll.
Well,
But
here's my
that's just
problem.
me.
I don't consider them an influential band. Luther Vandross also got in. So here it's Phil Collins, Oasis, Billy Idol, Sade. Don't know why Sade's in there. Iron Maiden, Joy Division / New Order, Wu-Tang Clan, and Luther Vandross.
Luther Vandross was, once again, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He does not belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Sade, she does a style of music that we do not listen to.
Yep.
She's actually a pretty big artist. I don't know her record sales, but rock, once again, does she belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? No, she does not.
Nope.
But she's been around for a while, and I don't want to say supper music, but soft rock. I don't know what you would call her. R&B, jazz. I don't know, but definitely not rock and roll. That I know.
Well, again, so I'm agreeing with you. I don't believe Wu-Tang Clan belongs. I don't believe Sade belongs there. Now, again, I'm at this point. I think we have to throw out. I think we have to throw out whether they're rock and roll or not, because I think that precedent's long gone. I mean, at this point,
of course it is.
Yeah.
But once again, you want to call something, it's like saying McDonald's, okay?
Yeah.
But when you go to McDonald's and let me get a Whopper. Well, we don't have a Whopper. Yeah, but I want a Whopper. All right, want to go to fucking Burger King down the street, but I want to get the Whopper from here. But we don't make a Whopper.
Right.
So, as far as Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you're putting a Whopper in at the McDonald's Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Like
I'm with you. I'm with you. So to me, I think you have to kind of get past. I know I do. That it's not really the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's just, somebody said they should call it the Music Museum. There's a bunch of names that people say
just call it the Music Hall of Fame, and you'll be completely covered, and we could never bitch and cry again.
Correct. The problem is it doesn't sell shirts. Music Hall of Fame and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame are completely different as logos, and it's just
yeah, you're right. But you want to know something? You can have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and underneath the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame banner is the Hip Hop Rock Hall of Fame, the Metal Hall of Fame,
absolutely.
Classic Rock Hall of Fame, Rap Hall of Fame. Break it down like that. It's the only way, because Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you're always going to have somebody complaining about something.
Yep, I agree. I agree. So again, good for Iron Maiden. I'm with Billy. I hope, even as a fan of Iron Maiden, I hope they don't go in. Now, here's the question I'm going to have you. Let's say either way, Maiden does, whether they show up at the play or they show up to accept the water, they don't show, and somebody just goes out there and they play some video clips of the band. Does everybody get inducted? Does Clive? Is it
every single person, to me, every single person that has been on an Iron Maiden record should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because every single album and a different era of Iron Maiden is different from each other. They came out with a very punk overtone in their first two albums, especially their first album. They became a metal band, second, third, and fourth album. They became, I don't want to say a concept band, but a concept-like band, progressive metal band, where they stand today, and different things. They're a band that has always been evolving one way or another, but never really strayed too far from their roots.
I agree. Now, guys, I know that they've already been accepted, everybody in there. My question as Iron Maiden fans or rock and roll fans or music fans is, should they? Like, look at Kiss. When they inducted Kiss, it was only the original 4 members. Everybody else who was part of the band, and some of those guys are around a long time. Eric Singer and what's his name, the guitar player, Tommy Thayer. They didn't.
Eric Singer was in the band actually longer than Peter Criss and somebody else, right?
So my question, so that's my point. So my point is, I'm a big fan of the Clive Burr Iron Maiden, but Clive Burr was only there 10 years, Nico's been
Not even. I don't even think he was there 10 years.
yeah. So to me, and what's his name was even less. Diano's even less. So if you're as an Iron Maiden fan, do you care? Like I don't particularly care, but because I think if you played in the band, you should be in more than like the new Iron Maiden drummer who's taking over for Nico McBrain should not be inducted to the Rock Hall of Fame.
I totally agree.
Yeah. Now, but how about this? Does Blaze Bailey get in? If
Why
everybody's
not?
going in,
He's on 2 albums.
Yeah, if Blaze Bailey, right. So my point is, if you're inducting Clive, who did 3 albums, if you did Diano, who only did 2 albums, are we putting in Blaze Bailey? Is he part of it? I didn't see Blaze's name.
You have to. And I'll tell you why you have to. Right? Because you bring up Paul Diano, and I'll tell you this much. Paul Diano helped shape the band.
I agree.
Okay. The band was already shaped in motion and everything else by the time Blaze Bailey got there. But Blaze Bailey held a spot.
Yeah.
For how long was he in that band for? He was in the band several years, 2 albums. So I'm thinking at least 5 or 6 years, right?
Yeah. Billy, does that mean you're saying that, or are they saying is Blaze Bailey getting inducted as well? I wonder if the band has anything to say about it, which I don't think they do. Alan, no. I will be at my son's wedding, so there will be no draft show next week. We'll be back the week after, and we'll recap it. But unfortunately, the first time in 10 years, Jeff and I will not be watching the NFL draft together.
You believe this bullshit, Alan?
Yeah,
his son's wedding.
And to be honest with you, if they weren't having an event that night on the draft, having an event for the wedding the night before the wedding, I would do the show from there in the hotel room or at the bar. But unfortunately, they have an event at 8:00, and I have to attend. So I will not be on. We will not be on the air. At least I won't be. They do it, and all inducted are members. So thank you very much, Alan. Appreciate it. Yeah, again, I don't really care. To me, it's a matter of Iron Maiden's going in. So to me, everybody under the banner deserves to be in there. Like you said.
I was just going to say that when you get a band like Iron Maiden, okay, everybody contributed something. This wasn't a fly-by-night band, a fly-by-night operation. This was never a band that was stuck in headlines, guys causing accidents and killing people, or who got arrested and did time in jail for drugs or whatever. This was a band where the music seemed to come first all of the time. They seemed like personable guys that you would want to talk to if you ever got the chance to meet them and spend some time with them, which I think is big. Gives the band some personality. So whether it was Blaze Bailey, who was there for 2 albums, or Paul Diano or Clive Burr, it doesn't matter. The only one to me that doesn't get the chance to be in the band is the new drummer. What's his name? Simon something?
Yeah, Simon something. Yeah. He's the Chris Lyon drummer, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only one that I don't think should get in. And I feel bad for him, but that's just me.
Right. So again, I think that now here's a quick question. Here's a fast one, and I want to talk about
Frank Catalano. Hold on, I'm Tom. We need to talk about that because I don't think that the first singer, what the fuck, Neil Turbin, he was only there for one album.
We interviewed him. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know about if he gets in the Hall of Fame. And unfortunately, I know you're a big Anthrax fan. I don't think Anthrax is ever going to get the chance to get into the Hall of Fame. I just don't see it. I'm not a big Anthrax fan, but I just don't think they'll ever vote them in. I don't think they'll ever get the chance. But as far as that, I have no problem with John Bush and Joey Belladonna going into the Hall of Fame. I just don't think Neil Turbin had enough work to get into the Hall of Fame.
Louis, I'm not disagreeing with you, Louis, on that. There's a few bands that surprisingly are not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And they're probably one of them. I mean, again, if you took them separately, you go, well, maybe. But when you compare, it's like comparing some of these baseball players and football players who got into the Hall of Fame. You go, how could that guy and Babe Ruth be in this? How does Harold Baines and Babe Ruth in the same building together? Like, it just doesn't fit. So normally I'd say, well, maybe 3. But if you're putting in Wu-Tang Clan and you're putting Sade in and you're putting Luther Vandross in, and no offense to Luther Vandross, Three Dog Night had a pretty good career. So there's a few bands that aren't in, and they're probably they're one foreigner.
Evidently, you or Lou may know more about Three Dog Night than I do. I know that I know a couple of their songs, but I'm not a big fan. And I see that they what he wrote, that they sold more albums than a lot of other bands. Did they have a long career? And I'm talking about being a big band on top.
Hold on.
Not a band that's still been playing for the last, say, 30, 40, 50 years because they're on the senior circuit. Are they a band that actually had a top run? You know what
Hey,
I mean?
they deserve to be in because their lead singers, his penis exploded. So to me, that gets him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in a heartbeat. I don't care what anybody tells me.
Where did we get that story?
No,
We read that. We
I
talked about
heard
it on the air.
Yes, I heard him tell that story on Howard Stern. He
What
told
happened?
this
Could
story
you
himself.
recap for us, please?
I want to say he was doing obviously a ton of drugs and he was banging and he developed some sort of like sore or something on his penis and it wound up getting infected and his penis exploded.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was the funniest story. And I say to myself, if there's anything more rock and roll than the lead singer of the band's penis exploding, I haven't heard it yet. It just doesn't exist.
Well, I gotta say that
Chuck
you could,
Negron.
if somebody said that was a Spinal Tap story, I would believe that in a heartbeat.
Well, so here's Three Dog Night. Here's the quick background. So they came around in 1968. All right. They did that one version from 68 to 72, then 73 to 79, 81 through the 90s, 2000 to 2012, and 2012 to present. They have had, I may tell you, more people in this band than live on Staten Island.
Really?
Oh, my God. If I tell you there's Corey Wells, Chuck Negron, Jimmy Greaspoon, Floyd Sneed. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's got to be 30-something different people have been in this band.
Oh, dude, if you ever look at the lineup that was in for Sabbath, there were another band with like 30-something people that you don't realize were in there.
I wish I could show you this. I wish my second screen was working. They have it broken down by year. From 67 to 68, who was in the band? From 68 to 73, who else was in the? I mean, it's insanity. The different.
It's like a chart.
Yeah.
But that to me cheapens the band a little bit when you look at that.
Of course.
You know, because does anybody know, say, their main 4 or 5 members or whatever? I know Chuck Negron was the singer for the longest time.
Yes.
Probably the only original member of that band. No.
Baby, they have had 21 Billboard Top 40 hits.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
They do. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else. I'm trying to look.
Yeah. Give me some of their songs. What was that? Did they do Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog?
I want to say the answer to that was yes. Let's see.
It should give you their Three Dog Night.
Yeah. So old fashioned love song coming down in 3-part harmony.
Yep.
There you go. Black and White. Celebrate. Joy to the World. Mama Told Me Not to Come.
Well, evidently Chuck didn't listen to that.
I wasn't listening to that one.
Shambhala, Old Fashioned Love Song. Some of these I know I've had to celebrate. I've had to hear these. I just don't.
Sure.
You know.
So, but they've had 21 top 40 hits in their career.
Wow.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah, but you know what? 1, 2, 4, 6, 8,
and
10,
three
12.
And 3 number ones.
They've had 12 albums out since 1968.
Yep.
Okay. Their last album, they went from 1976 to 2002 without an album. Okay. Then they put a new album out in 2002. 2004, very Spinal Tap-ish, their 35th anniversary. And then they haven't put out a new album since 2002. So they've gone 24 years without releasing new material. But I'm pretty sure a band like that, there's probably not a big call for, especially now Chuck Negron, if he's gone.
He's gone. He passed away 2006, I believe. I'm just looking to see if that story's here. It's not in it. I went to his.
It's not.
I'm looking to see, but I heard.
Never mind that. See if they got pictures. Let's see what that one looks like. Does that look like somebody stepped on a jelly roll or something? I don't
know. Heroin addiction. Dirty. It was in and out of drug rehab. 30 different drug treatment facilities.
Wow,
that's pretty good. Yeah,
Chuck.
Great voice, absolutely great voice. I'm with Louie. I mean, to me, you know, if you're putting in some of these other bands, they deserve it. So, but you know, no, he died. Was it last year? It says 2006. Hold on, you may be right. I thought it was sooner. Oh, 2000, he was okay. In 2006, he was featured in an episode of
Wait,
18. Okay.
wait a minute. I just found something from March 29th, 2009.
Yep.
The mystery, it says Three Dog Night singer's penis splitting.
Yes.
That's even worse than it exploding. It's split. Did it? And then Chuck
Yes.
Negron exploding dick.
It's the greatest. It's the greatest non-Spinal Tap story of all time. It really is.
Oh my god!
If there was
Oh my god!
It's if you're in rock and roll and you're sitting around a table with a bunch of other guys, you go, "What's the worst that happened to me?" Well, I got bit by a bat. Oh, I fell off the stage. Oh yeah, one had my penis split in half. That's you win. That's it. It's over.
Yeah, it's hard. I don't think anybody wants to try to beat that. That's
I'm telling you.
you know,
But now the funny part of this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is, they have the judges, let's call it, or the panel that votes the bands in, and there's also a version where the fans get to vote. And the band that actually won the fan vote this year was New Edition. The New Edition got, listen to this, New Edition got 1 million votes. Iron Maiden got 395,000 votes. Yet Iron Maiden wound up in there. I'll give you a bunch of people. Pink was third in fan voting, 852,000. Shakira at 738,000. In excess, 645,000.
no, make no qualms about it. The bands that you're mentioning now, Shakira, Pink, some of the other ones that you just mentioned, they're going to get in one day, whether you like it or not. They're definitely getting in.
Well, they need to put some money in there. Eventually, they'll run out of bands.
Yeah, I hear that.
So some others that didn't make it, Mariah Carey. I think Mariah Carey, honestly, deserved to. If you're going to put Sade in, I think Mariah Carey's got to go ahead. I think she's had a better career. I guarantee you, she sold more albums, more number one hits, and she's Mrs. Christmas.
And she's got big cans.
Yeah. The Black Crowes didn't make it. Jeff Buckley didn't make it. Or maybe he did. He might have made it. I have to look that up.
Who?
Jeff Buckley, did he make it? No, he did not make it this year. So, let's see. So I also went and looked it up. So anyway, there's a little bit of people saying, well, a lot of women that were on this list should have made it, didn't make it. Is the list kind of chauvinistic? And to me, again, Pink, people love Pink and they think she's a great writer. I'm not a big fan. Shakira, good voice, whatever. I think the one, if you want to point to one that maybe Melissa Etheridge maybe could have made it, maybe Mariah Carey could have made it over a couple of people, but they didn't. Fan voting, New Edition to me, I don't know why anybody would put New Edition in there.
Why does there always have to be a fucking problem with anything that happens in life? Why does that chauvinistic?
Yep.
Why? Because this year they put in a couple other bands.
Yep.
You know what?
I'm with you. You. I did see the top. I found a list. The top 10 worst Hall of Fame, worst Rock and Roll Hall of Fame bands ever inducted.
God only knows, though. Let's see how it is. This is
a strange list because there's some really big names on this list. So listen to this. This was the top 10 worst Rock and Roll Hall of Fame bands. Chicago.
What? How?
Bon Jovi.
First of all, stay on Chicago.
Okay.
Chicago has been around since the mid to late 60s. They're another band that kind of changed their style around a little bit. They swapped. They got sugary for a while. They were kind of a hard, not a hard rock band, but a rock and roll band. Wow. Okay. All right. So they're one of the worst. I don't see that, but okay.
Bon Jovi.
I don't know that. How?
That to me is a mystery. And more so that it took him till 2018 and 19 to get him was a mystery to me. I mean, again, I'm not the biggest Bon Jovi fan, but if you want to go back to the 80s, the guy had album after album and hit number one song after hit number one song. And they basically, to me, kicked off the hairband revolution. I mean, everybody after them, the Warrants of the world and all that, they all came out looking like Bon Jovi afterwards. I mean, so to me, they were influential. They sold it out, and they did it for a long time.
And so call them hair metal or not, I'm not a Bon Jovi fan. You know what? They weren't sugary, sappy bullshit. They were, but they had some talent behind them.
Yeah, I would
You
say.
know, they weren't the greatest band in the world. They weren't the most talented band in the world, but they certainly weren't a shitty. Some of these hair metal bands were bad, bad,
Well,
bad, bad.
but again, they were the first. Like, if you really, like you went from like,
No, Motley Crue and
I don't know. I don't consider Motley Crue a hair metal band. I think they were maybe a
what the
precursor
fuck
to
are
it.
they?
I don't. To me, they were. You're telling me that you thought "Shout at the Devil" was a hair metal album?
Exactly what it is.
No, absolutely not. No way.
What do you consider that?
I think it's a metal
They
album.
wore makeup, dressed
Yeah.
in leather, and had their hair teased up out to here. That's hair metal, bro. That's
Again,
hair metal. That's hair metal.
I would never put them in that category. To me, they're a metal band. Now, they may have been a precursor. To me, Bon Jovi became that first band where it was all about not necessarily the greatest music in the world. It was about style. It was about, all that other stuff, and they did it well. I mean, to me, I'm not disagreeing that there's some hair metal parts to them, but to me, it was kind of like Kiss meets the metal guys, and maybe you're starting to see that trend toward the Bon Jovis and the Warrants and Cinderella and all those other bands. But me personally, I would never have classified Motley Crue as a hair metal band.
That's exactly what they are.
I think Frankie's right. See, to me, they were like on the Maiden track. Like, that first album was punky. Then they got a little heavier, like Maiden did with Killers, with "Shout at the Devil," and then
by the time "Shout at the Devil" came, they were fucking wearing makeup and tight pants and lipstick and everything else. Just like Poison, just like the rest of them.
Theater of Pain, they became a hair metal band. Maybe you want to
They
point to
were a gay fucking band. That's what they were.
Yeah, I'm not saying they weren't, and they were terrible in concert. But I would just tell you, as a metal historian, I would never have classified them.
Well, stop right there.
Yeah.
Who the fuck on this planet said you're a metal historian? Who on this planet said that?
The Hard Rock and Sports panel voted me metal historian.
There is what fucking panel? Who's on the panel? Really?
Yes, I'm on the panel.
Wow.
I voted myself historian. And
wow.
I would tell you their first two albums were leaning toward the Iron Maiden route, and then it went off the deep end with Theater of Pain. Joey might have voted for me too. Joe would vote for me as metal historian. I think he would.
First of all, I know Frank Catalano likes to pull things out of thin air and stuff, and always has something. Pantera was gay at one point in time.
Oh,
saw
absolutely.
the error of their ways and totally left that lifetime behind.
100%.
Bands like, and I will say this much about Bon Jovi, I don't think that they were ever a true hair metal band. I think they were more of a rock band with hair metal roots or hair metal tendencies, but I wouldn't call them hair metal because they were on the radio. They were fucking on tour all over the place. They had videos all over the place. They had merchandise all over the place. They sold more records than just about fucking anybody under the fucking sun in their heyday.
And this locks up my thought on they should have been Hall of Fame. I don't know what took so long. Let's go through the list because we're going to run out of time. Next one on the list, and this blew me away, was Ringo Starr as a solo act. Should not have been a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer.
I could kind of go along with that because when he's not playing out there with Ringo and friends, what has he really done? He released a couple albums in the early 70s outside of the Beatles stuff. No, Photograph, a couple other songs. He's not as relevant as say Paul McCartney.
I'm not disagreeing. Like when he said it, I'm like, Ringo Starr. I went, well, they're kind of right. His solo stuff's really not that good. But it's just the fact that he's a Beatle and the fact that they're questioning him in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo artist was kind of baffling.
I don't think I have a problem with that.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
I agree with you. Loving Spoonful made the list. I don't know enough about the Loving Spoonful.
Well, I know this much. What are they? I Believe in Magic.
Yeah.
And a couple others. I don't know. I could see that. I could see that.
It was an interesting one. And I agree with the fact that this, I don't know why I wouldn't have put him in a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He was huge for a short amount of time. But to me, he was David Cassidy on steroids, and that's Peter Frampton.
Peter Frampton?
Yep.
Is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
He's an overrated Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
No, he's not. No, definitely not. You got to listen to his stuff, bro. You got to listen to his stuff. Listen, I think he was in Humble Pie and a couple other things. He's a great guitar player. His live album was one of the best live albums ever released.
Okay.
He didn't have. He's had a long career, but not many big hits.
All
You
right.
know,
So,
but
but
like
again,
his live
hey,
album, it carried him.
no, again, but is one great album good enough?
Dude, there's a ton of people that are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that do not fucking
No,
belong
no, no.
there.
But that's what this list is. But
I
that's what
know,
this
but
list
I'm
is.
just saying that
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that
I'll,
nobody acknowledged like this. So
okay.
to
Well,
say that Peter Frampton shouldn't be there, then I can think about 20 other people that shouldn't be there. But
well, that's what
let's
this.
continue
That's what.
on with the list.
Right. So there's a few more. So the next one is Sheryl Crow. They say Sheryl Crow doesn't. Now that one I was questioning. She's had some big hits.
Yes, I don't know. I'm on the fence with that one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Percy Sledge is on this list as a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer that shouldn't be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I don't know much about him, to be honest with you. I'd have to look to see what he did.
Yep.
Doesn't he? Did he say when a man loves a woman? I think.
It's a good question. I can look it up quick. We don't have much time, but let me see. Percy Sledge. There we go.
I think that was his. I don't know about him either.
Yeah, I'm looking him up right now. Percy Sledge. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Let's see. Anything here? So, big albums, his singles. When a Man Loves a Woman, good call. Warm and Tender Love. He's had one. He had exactly one number one hit. That was it. After that, number 5, he had one hit there. Most everything else is a couple top 20s. Love Me Tender. What Am I Living For? Just Out of Reach. Cover Me. Sudden Stop.
None of these songs ring a bell, so I have no problem with that.
I think he's again not sure why exactly he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but he is, and he is in the top 10 according to the list. Again, I know that he was in Humble Pie. Frank and Jeff mentioned it, but it's the solo career. They're not taking in him being in bands. That's it. So to me, if we want to question, we can't. If we want to say that Frampton gets credit for Humble Pie, that's why he got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Then Ringo is an automatic because he's a Beatle. So if we're throwing out Beatle stuff then Humble Pie doesn't count for Peter Frampton. So it's based on his solo career.
You raised a good point there. I'll give you that without a doubt. Because if you're not getting in but then again, that's showing that somebody, either didn't like the Beatles or does not like Ringo Starr.
Correct. Right. But again, if you're not going to count his time in the Beatles and give him automatic pass in because he was a Beatle, which I understand. You're going. It's like Ozzy. Ozzy should get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo artist because he was great, not just because he was in Sabbath. He deserved it because his solo career was Hall of Fame worthy.
Oh, he should be in the Hall of Fame twice.
Correct, and he is, and well deserved. And yeah, he was a great guitar player. But again, I'm not sure as a rock and roll. Couple more. Foo Fighters should not be in the Hall of Fame according to this list.
I got to agree with that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Dave Clark 5 should not be in. I don't know enough about it, so I won't.
No, neither do I.
I didn't think the Foo Fighters. And the last one is Paul Butterfield and the Blues Band. And Paul Butterfield.
No. I'm not. I don't know. I might know some of their stuff. I don't know, but a lot of players went through that band, including like Eric Clapton. I think maybe Jeff Beck. I'm not 100% sure of Jeff Beck. A lot of big name guys went through that band. Yeah, I'd have to look that one up, but I know that they were a big band in their day.
Well, we'll get to more of this in 2 weeks. Like I said, we're going to be off next week because of my son's wedding. I'll put out my top my top 10 draft picks for the first round, so that way we can see how I do. A couple years ago, I did pretty good. Last year, not so good. So we'll see how this year turns out. But I'm going to miss being on the show next week. It's paining me to not be on the for the NFL draft with Jeff because that's what we do every year. We'll talk a lot more.
It's okay. I think you have a pretty valid point, bro.
Yeah. By the way, I wanted to bring up quick before I forget. Triumph. I went looking for tickets today. Do you know you could get front row seats to see Triumph June 5th at the what's the one in Long Island? Jones Beach. For like $200. You could sit kind of midway up the lower section for $100 to see Triumph. And I was going to buy a bunch of tickets today, and I went, This looks like a concert that's going to get canceled. There's thousands and thousands of seats available right now for that show. I'm very disappointed. But if anybody's got interest in go see Triumph, it's June 5th at Jones Beach. I would love to go. There are great seats and they're very reasonable. So if anybody wants to go see Triumph, I would love to go. I just don't know if I'm afraid to buy seats for a canceled show. So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. We'll talk a lot more about Iron Maiden and what happens with them going into the Rock Wall of Fame. There's still seats available for that September 5th and 6th at Harrison Stadium or some crazy place in New Jersey. So we gotta look into going to that. But in the meantime, we got to end the show right here, so we stay under the 2-hour mark. And I get to do I get some clips up. Jeff, great show, man. We just flew by.
Always is, man.
Yep, it's a good one. I hope you guys have had a good show. Thank you to Alan and Frank and Louie and Cam and Chris and everybody else, man. It's a lot of fun doing this when you guys are all hanging with us. Enjoy the draft next week. And we'll be back here in 2 weeks on the 30th. Jeff and I will do this all over again, so we hope you come back for that. In the meantime, please stay safe. Enjoy the weather. It's going to be a little cold next week. Enjoy the draft. And go Yankees. Screw Mondami. And all that good shit. So, Jeff, good job tonight, man. I appreciate it.
Later, man. Be good.
All right,
enjoy the wedding.
Thank you again for Jeff and myself and everybody here at Hot Rocket Sports. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good rest of your night, a great rest of your week, a good weekend, and a great next week. And we'll see you back here in 2 weeks. From everybody here, take care and be safe. Jeff, I'll talk to you soon.
Later, bud.
Later.